So I figured I'd mention before I recorded this, I decided to, like in between episodes 2 and 3, I decided to do some leveling for the Rolt to catch her up to the rest of the team, aka Turtwig, and I may have found a shiny, so I started recording after I encountered it, and I figured I'd include it at the start of the episode. So here it is. So what do you guys think? Wasn't that great how I got that shiny? I I don't know. I thought it wouldn't die in just one hit like that, but apparently I was very wrong. I was quite surprised that I found it, because at this point I was sort of questioning if I had the boosted shiny odds. I couldn't remember what I included, but that kind of made me think that I probably did have them on. So that's what I'm going with for now. But here we go. This is the reason why I was leveling, because there is a second rival fight before you can get to the next town. And as you can see, it's going pretty poorly right off the bat. Roltz is a lot weaker than I really remember her being. Hopefully she lives the quick attack. Yep, okay, she does. Sally's confused, but in my experience, anytime the enemy is confused, they always just hit me like that. So this fight's actually tough. I think this fight is tough, even on the regular game. I think this is one of the harder rival fights in the series, but maybe that's just me. But I definitely struggle with this one. Just in Renegade and regular Platinum. There's no stopping me from getting bodied by this dude. So right now he's kind of dumping on me with his Chimchar. So the fight went pretty poorly, and I guess I just got straight out of there. There's no real reason to see me lose or whatever, so I figured I'd just cut to the next attempt. So I figured at the start I would use Turtwig against the Starly, and then I think for the Chimchar I'm going to try and use the Roltz. I think is the plan. But also he does have a third Pokemon. I still haven't dealt with that. That is still a problem. Okay, I guess I don't know what my plan is. I felt like that was the plan, but I guess it's not. I guess the plan is to swap. I don't know. I don't really know what my plan is. Another disarming voice should kill Starly. But yeah, as you can see, we got Gen 7 going on. Well, I guess this is technically Gen 6. I don't know where disarming voice came from. It might have been Gen 6 or 7, but Fairy is Gen 7. Gen 6. What am I saying? But yeah, all the stats and stuff and moves and types are all from Gen 7. So yeah, here he kind of threw a curveball at me. I was expecting him to throw out the Chimchar, but he threw out the Munchlax. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. But he doesn't do too much damage. I was worried because both my Pokemon were low, so I didn't really know how this was going to go. I didn't know how much damage Munchlax was going to do. But Munchlax was not hard to deal with at all. I think he might go for another potion. Oh no. He keeps throwing curveballs. I love when NPCs withdraw Pokemon. This is where I was getting nervous, because both Ralts and Turtwig are both in the yellow. Obviously, Turtwig is weak to Chimchar. So I figured I would try and, I don't know, just see what I could get done with the Turtwig against Chimchar. I think he slowly... Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. The problem is, I'm trying to, like, think of what I was doing in this moment before I do it, and like, try and kind of, like, say what I was thinking at the time, but it's too hard. I think what I was thinking was that, like, if anything's going to kill this Chimchar, it's going to be the Ralts. So I figured I'd try and heal up the Ralts as well. But Turtwig lived. I didn't expect to live. I was just like, if I have to prioritize a Pokemon, it should be the Ralts. But then, of course, I get burned, and then that kind of just ruined everything. Because I was actually surviving. I think I was slowly gaining HP with the potions, but I don't know. Kind of got screwed. So hopefully, I always forget that Fairy is not good against fire. I always forget. Or like, fire resists Fairy. I always forget that. I don't know why. I guess I just don't see how that makes sense. Like, a lot of the types can make sense, but like, that one just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Whatever plan I had cooking did work out in the end. It was really scary when he withdrew the Munchlax, and both my Pokemon really low. I was thinking, like, I could swap to the Ralt and heal up the Turtwig, but then I was like, Ralt is just gonna die. So then I was like, but I thought Turtwig was gonna die. Like, either I thought the potion wouldn't heal more than the damage he was doing at a time, or just that he might just, like, outright kill me before I can really do anything useful. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like it was a tough situation to be in, but I pulled through. So there is a Shroomish here that wants an Oranberry, and I actually do know what that... I've done this before with the Oranberry, like, I know what happens. So that wasn't really a surprise to me, but I can't do it just yet. I don't remember how I had an Oranberry at this point in my original playthrough, but I did, and I don't know how. But, oh well. I'll have to come back. I will come back. I think it's the next episode I come back with an Oranberry. So here I am, looking for another Pokemon in the wild, and I figured I'd show how long this one took. This one took so long, it kind of made me realize I probably shouldn't include all the other wild encounters like this. But I just think it's kind of neat to see, because this one takes a lot longer than the Ralts, which surprised me. Like, there's a Seedot. Seedot's cool, but I don't want a Seedot. There's a lot of Spearow on this route, for some reason. Got some Starly. Another Spearow, like... I don't know why I included all this. Like, I don't know. I think it is kind of neat to see, but it's not something I'm going to do again. It's just too much. And it's always just the same, like, 2 Pokemon. But finally, I find the Lotad. This is all I wanted was Lotad. It's not even, like, a bad encounter rate, too. I think it's a 10%. I kind of check that real quick. I'm pretty sure it's just, where is it? Is this Route 203? I guess it has to be? Yeah, Seedot's a 10%. I guess I didn't find any of the other 10% besides Seedot. There's also a Cubone and Abra on this route. Starly's 25%. Spearow's 15%. Considering how many Spearows I was getting, that's kind of ridiculous. But, oh well. We finally got Lotad, which is great. I love Lotad, like Ludicolo. See, like, Ludicolo is one of those Pokemon I always liked, along with Shift Tree, but I'd never used them. And it was always just mostly because I don't like Seedot. Seedot just kind of is annoying to use. It's like, all he has is Bide, and I hate Bide. It's just, I don't know, it's annoying. Oh well. Lotad though. Lotad's cool. I love Lotad. But like Shiftry, I don't know. I don't know why I never used him. I guess it's just because I don't want to put it with Sea Dart. It's also... Oh yeah, Breloom. That's who else I use in Gen 3. It just came to me. I think that's why I don't use Sea Dart, because, you know, Grass... I know it's Grass Dark, but I already have the Breloom. He's Grass Fighting. That's it. I remembered it. And I guess, like... I don't know if anyone noticed, but a lot of the Pokemon that I like to use in Gen 3, I get really early. Like, there's the starter, then there's Ralts, and there's Shroomish. You get those, like, all, like, one after another, so it's, like, really difficult to have to train all these different Pokemon up, I guess. So, I don't usually bother with the... I don't want to bother with another one, you know? But maybe, like, I could use those in different playthroughs. But I don't know, we'll see. But Ralts just fucking died, which was not good. Because Lotad is a low level compared to these. So I just don't think it's going to go well with Lotad either. And spoiler, it doesn't. So I was using Razor Leaf because I knew that Sandshrew was weak to it. And I knew Zubat wouldn't be. But I was just like, maybe I can like slowly kill two birds with one stone. But Razor Leaf did not do as much as I thought it would to the Sandshrew. So I did not want to continue doing that. Absorb was slightly better, but unfortunately it did not do just enough. But yeah, Lotad's just fucking dead. I forgot I had antidotes, but I mean, if I use the antidote, he was gonna die. I'd have to use the antidote with Turtwig and the potion with Lotad, and that's just like a whole turn wasted. And then I'd have the potion again next turn anyway, because Lotad's definitely gonna get hit. And then you could get poisoned again, so I was just like, screw it. Just let him die. This is, I don't know, it was just such an unfortunate battle. I didn't want any of these Pokemon to die. Obviously, I want them to, like, you know, train, get stronger. It's the whole point of Pokemon. But I was just like, no, I can't do it. This is no way. Yeah, I'm trying to give, I didn't know if I wanted to give Bullet Seed to Turtwig, what I wanted to replace, and I was like, oh, I'll just give it a go. I don't usually use Bullet Seed, but it did prove to be quite good. I will give it that. I was enjoying it quite a lot. I think I still have it. I don't know. I really don't remember. But I have been using it. It worked out pretty well. I always loved double battles. They're just my favorite. I think that's why I loved Emerald so much, is that they really put a focus on double battles. Like, they were just those, like, random trainers that would, like, meet up and 2v2 you. And I just thought that was so cool. I always love the double battles where it's just two random trainers coming together to fight you. And look, Bullet Seed's doing great already. One hit crit, and you just gotta love it. But yeah, I always just love double battles where two random trainers come together. Sort of like this, but like, I always like when it's two different types of trainers. I always think that's quite fun. Oh yeah, so this is going to be something I do a lot. I accidentally use Teleport with the Ralts. Because I wanted to swap the Ralts to the first slot, but Switch is the second option down. But that's where Teleport goes, or any like outside move. Or any move you can use outside of battle. That's where they go. They go to the second spot on the list. So, muscle memory kind of screwed me there. I figured I'd use Ralts just, you know, to train. Because Turtwig has gained some EXP. Quite a bit of EXP ahead of everyone else. And I just figured, you know, probably should train someone else. And Lotad's too low leveled, but Lotad should have the EXP share. I think I have the EXP share at this point, because I think your rival gives it to you in this, which is different. I didn't mention that at the time, but the second time you see your rival, he gives you the EXP share, which is different. I know that's different, and I think that's cool because I think you get it like way earlier. I actually don't fully remember when you get it in Platinum. But In here, you get it quite early, I believe. I don't think you get it that much later, but like you do get it earlier in this game, which is cool. Definitely okay with me. And this is the EXP share that I like. I'm not a big fan of the party-wide EXP share in the current generations of Pokemon. I definitely am a big fan of the single target EXP share. But that is just me. Because like I love just using different Pokemon. I don't just stick to one Pokemon unless I have to swap. I always just like try to mix and match my Pokemon. Because I feel like they should all get like as much time in the field as, you know, they should. So like even if, say if I had a Pokemon that was, you know, strong against the enemy Pokemon, like it was like 2 times, 4 times effective or whatever, I would probably opt to use someone that I hadn't used as much that was just neutral to that Pokemon. Just because I feel like they should get, you know, some time in the sun. And I feel like they should be used. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's like weird, but I feel like I always just want to use my Pokemon. I don't want them to like not get used. Caught them for a reason, you know. But I feel like the party-wide EXP share kind of discourages that, because now like to train the Pokemon, you don't even have to use them. And you only have to swap when you feel like you need to swap. So I don't know. It's not something I'm a fan of. And in Gen 6 and 7, it's not too bad. You can turn it off. But in Gen 8, you can't. So that's a whole different kettle of fish. I don't know, it's not a big deal in the end. But it's just something. It's just a reason why I prefer this EXP share to the current one. The modern one. The modern EXP share. So there are a lot of double battles on this route. And by that I mean like 2. Which is fine with me, because I'm all about those double battles. Roll's finally not dying, which is great news. Feels like Roll dies a lot, which is not great. This is actually, the double battles are partly why I loved Colosseum and XD so much. I just love double battles. I don't know why. I just think they're so fun. I always just love seeing like 2 of my Pokemon like working together, beating the enemy. It was just neat. How could you not love that, you know? God, caves. I hate caves. This is just... When I was playing like Let's Go Pikachu, and you're like in Mount Moon or whatever, being able to dodge all the Pokemon in the cave was just so nice. I don't think I've had a better time in that cave than Let's Go Pikachu. Like, I know you can use repels, but I don't know, I just prefer the overworld Pokemon where you can avoid them. I just think it's so much nicer. You know, it's just me. So I figured I'd show this battle. Well, I figured I'd show this Pokemon, because you can get Riolu here, which is kind of cool. You obviously can't normally get Riolu outside of the egg that you get from, I think it's the gym leader, right? Of that town. I forget the names. I'm so bad with the names. But I think you get it from the gym. You get it from that dude in the cave. In the island. You know, you take the boat there. Ah, we'll get there soon. Enough. But that's like, I think that's the only place you get Riolu. You might be able to catch him in that cave. I don't fully remember, but you're not supposed to get... The point is, you're not supposed to get them this early, so. I think it's worth mentioning that my dog is just on my bed watching me. She's like half asleep. Just like trying to, I think she's trying to sleep, but I'm talking a lot, so don't think it's going too well. But I think if it bothered her that much, she would leave. So, it's her fault, really. Yeah, fuck caves. That's the point of that whole conversation. Fuck caves. I just can't stand them. In any generation that doesn't have overworld Pokemon, You can use repels, but I just don't find repels to be the same. It's just not as fun to me. It's cool being able to see the Pokemon. Like, I can still choose to fight them if I want, if it's overworld. I don't know. That's just me. So we are nearly through this cave. I never really, like, understood this cave. And that sounds really weird, but, like, why is it just, like, a small cave blocking these two towns? I don't really get it. I guess it kind of goes with the whole town. Like, that's kind of like the theme of the town. You know, like, they do a lot of, like, digging and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's always... I just found this cave to be so weird. It's not big. There's only, like, 2 trainers in here. I don't know. This cave just always baffled me. One thing I do want to see, if they do make a Diamond and Pearl remake, is Mount Coronet. I'm so excited to see that. Like, it really felt like an actual mountain that you had to climb. And, like, it's got all the different entrances that you can go through. And, like, it takes you all the way up to the top of the region. I just think it's such a cool, like, concept. And it's something I really hope they don't butcher in a remake. Because it's something I could see them doing. Unfortunately. I just think it's so... I just think it's so cool. It's just such a cool concept to me. And, like, there's so many different areas to explore in the cave. And there's just... I don't know, I just love it. That's just one thing that's sort of, like, absent from Sword and Shield caves. Like, I do miss caves. Which is something I thought I'd never say. Like, missing caves, like, who am I? But I think Gen 8 would have been really good for caves too, because of the overworld Pokemon. Like, I think that might have been one of the games I really enjoyed a cave in. Not a cave in, as in, like, the cave's, you know, crumbling in, but I would have enjoyed a cave in that game. It just would have been neat, but it's whatever, I guess. Alright. So, I thought this guy used to call you a noob. He might in Diamond and Pearl, actually, but I could have sworn this guy, that NPC that takes you to the gym, calls you a noob. I remember that as a kid. Because I used to think noob meant something else. So I was just, like, kind of surprised that he called you a noob in a kid's game, but I guess they changed that, actually. Because I don't remember, he doesn't do that in regular Platinum either. It might, I don't know. I'd have to replay Diamond and Pearl or something and get to that point and see. But I remember being called a noob. Also, I completely forgot to mention this whole time that when I was leveling my Rolts, I actually got the Poke-Etch thing. The I don't know what to call it. I always call it the Poke-Etch. But like the watch thing. Like, I actually, they just give it to you. They give it to you with all the apps on in this game. Which is fine with me. Even, like, the unused ones, like the stopwatch and whatever. Like, they give you those too. Which I think is cool. I'm glad they do that. Like, you don't have to do, even though I do like the clown, the clowns and their questions. I always did enjoy, like, finding them. You don't have to do that anymore or anything. And they just, I don't know. It's fine with me. Getting all the apps. Because I never used to collect all the apps. Like, it was never something I really cared too much about collecting. So I think it's better if they give them all to you. Yeah, here we go. As I'm sure you can see, we're doing another quiz. And this one's Hoenn based. So, who knows what that really means. It means you get Hoenn Pokemon. And they do keep them at a good level. Like, level 10 is not too bad. There's only 2 below, I think, my lowest level. So, like, they're not hard to catch back up if you want to actually use them on your team. I do think this concept's cool, though, giving you all the different starters. Something I'd love to... something I don't know is how they deal with legendaries, because it says all of the Pokemon are available in this game. So, I mean, that has to include legendaries, right? So, like, what do they do about, like, Groudon or, like, Jirachi, Kyogre, Rayquaza? I mean, sending Gen 1, 2, 3 legendary. Like, I like to see how they handle that, because I actually don't know. Be interesting to see how that goes. I'm excited to see a lot of the later stuff, because I imagine that's where a lot of the changes are going to come too, like late game, post game, because like I said, like legendaries and stuff. Like, it would be cool to see. I imagine there's still like a lot I haven't seen with this game, like nothing too major, but like I'm sure I'm still missing some stuff that is like exclusive to Renegade Platinum. So this Lotad's putting in work. Like, he's doing pretty well. He's a newbie, but he's doing pretty well, which I can appreciate. Like, I would love to use Mudkip or Torchic, but I just can't. I can't bring myself to just use starters. That was something I used to do as a kid, because my brother used to play Pokemon, but he doesn't anymore. But like, he stopped like kind of soon after like we had Gen 3. He didn't really care too much after that. I think he did play a bit of Pearl, but that was about it. I don't think he finished it or anything. Oh no. God, that's a different story even. He did actually play Pearl and finish it, but I think after Gen 4 is when he pretty much stopped. But because he would have the games too, what I would do is I got a link cable and we'd have our own Game Boys. I used to trade myself all the starters before starting like a playthrough, so I loved the starters. So I would use all 3 in some games, like Leaf Green, Fire Red. I did that in once. I think Ruby Sapphire did that too. I don't know. I was a big fan of starters, and I still am, but I don't do that anymore. I would just deal with the disobedient Pokemon. I don't know if I could these days. I had more patience as a kid, I suppose, with the Pokemon, because I just loved the starters that much. But that is the end of this episode of Pokemon Renegade Platinum. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and be sure to come back for part 4. Goodbye.